The year is 100 AD. The noise of engines, notifications, and electricity does not exist here. There is only the wind passing through the cypress trees and the heavy silence of the Italian countryside. Close your eyes and let the modern world fade away. Today we are not looking at ruins. We are stepping onto the cool, polished stone of a living Roman villa to remember what true peace feels like. You open your eyes in a room known as the cubiculum. It is small, dark, and utterly silent. The morning light is just beginning to bleed through a small high window, casting a single beam across the lime-washed walls. You push back the heavy woolen blanket. The air is cool, carrying the scent of last night's olive oil lamp and the lavender dried in the rafters. Your feet touch the floor, and the stone greets you with a grounding chill. There is no rushing to a bathroom mirror. You pour water from a terracotta jug into a bronze basin. The water is cold, drawn from the cistern at dawn, and it shocks your skin awake better than any caffeine. You dress simply. A tunic of unbleached linen slides over your head. It is rougher than modern cotton, but it breathes with your body. You tie the leather belt, feeling the texture of the grain against your fingers. You step out of the bedroom and into the atrium. This is the heart of the house, vast and high. Above you, the roof is open to the sky, framing a perfect square of morning blue. Beneath the opening lies the impluvium, a shallow pool of water. It captures the rain and reflects the passing clouds. The stillness of the water sets the rhythm for the entire house. You pause here. The acoustics are resonant. The sound of your leather sandals on the mosaic floor echoes softly, amplifying the feeling of space. You are indoors, yet the sky is with you. A servant has left a tray of breakfast on a low wooden table. It is not a feast. It is bread, hard and crusty, served with honey and a few salted olives. Simple fuel for the day. You break the bread. The crust shatters in your hands. The taste is earthy and sour, nothing like the soft, sweet air puffs sold in supermarkets today. This food demands to be chewed. Leaving the atrium, you walk towards the back of the villa. The air changes. You smell rosemary, warmed earth, and pine. You have entered the peristyle, the private garden enclosed within the house. Rows of marble columns create a shaded walkway around the garden. You walk in the shade, protected from the climbing sun, while looking out at the bright green center. The contrast of light and shadow is sharp. Fountains bubble gently in the center of the garden. The Romans knew that the sound of falling water calms the mind. It is a constant white noise that masks any sound from the servants working in the kitchens. You sit on a stone bench between two columns. The stone has warmed up slightly. A lizard skitters across the path. Here, nature is not something you go to visit. It is a guest in your home. The morning is spent in otium, leisure with dignity. You might read a scroll or write a letter. Without the flicker of screens, your eyes rest easily on the wax tablet. Your focus is unbroken. As noon approaches, the heat rises. But the villa knows how to handle it. The thick stone walls have held onto the night's coolness, releasing it slowly now to combat the midday sun. You move to the summer dining room, which faces north. The air here is still refreshing. The design of the house guides you to the most comfortable spot without you even thinking about it. Lunch is light. Cold meat, cheese made from sheep's milk, and figs. The figs are sticky and sweet, bursting with seeds. You wash it down with wine heavily diluted with water, cool and sharp. After the meal, silence falls over the entire estate. It is the siesta. Even the birds seem to stop singing. You lie down on a daybed in the portico, lulled by the distant hum of cicadas. This rest is not laziness. It is an acknowledgement of the sun's power. You do not fight the heat. You surrender to it, letting the day's rhythm dictate your energy. You wake as the shadows lengthen. The light turns golden, hitting the red frescoes on the walls, making the painted gods and gardens look almost alive. It is time for the bath. You do not go to a sterile room with white tiles. You enter the private bath suite attached to the villa, smelling of wood smoke from the furnace. You step into the tepidarium, the warm room. The floor is pleasant to walk on, heated from below by the hypocaust. The warmth seeps up through your sandals and into your bones. Then the caldarium. The heat here is heavy and wet. Steam rises from the hot plunge pool. You sit in the heat, sweating out the dust of the day, your muscles loosening completely. There is no soap. You rub olive oil over your limbs, it feels thick and rich. Then you use a curved metal strigil to scrape the oil and dirt away. It is a vigorous, cleansing friction. Finally, the shock. You plunge into the frigidarium, the cold pool. The water knocks the breath out of you for a second, tightening your skin and clearing your mind instantly. You emerge feeling new. Wrapped in a dry linen towel, you walk back to the peristyle. The sun is setting now, painting the sky in violet and burnt orange. Servants are lighting the oil lamps. The smell of burning olive oil is distinct, slightly greasy, earthy and familiar. Small flames flicker, creating dancing shadows against the columns. Dinner is served in the triclinium. You do not sit upright in a rigid chair. You recline on a sloped couch, leaning on your left elbow. This posture relaxes the stomach and the spirit. The meal is slow. Roasted pork, seasoned with garum and coriander. The flavors are intense and salty. You eat with your fingers, feeling the temperature and texture of the meat before you taste it. Conversation flows easily. There is no television blaring in the background, no phone buzzing on the table, just the voice of your companions and the crackle of the braziers warming the room. As the meal ends, you walk out to the edge of the terrace. The countryside is pitch black. There is no light pollution. The Milky Way stretches across the sky like a spilled river of milk. You return to your room. The stone walls have released their stored heat, keeping the bedroom comfortable. You lie in the dark, surrounded by absolute silence, and sleep comes without effort. Why does this lifestyle feel so desirable to us? It is because the Roman villa was not just a shelter, it was a machine for living in harmony with nature. Modern houses are sealed boxes. We build them to keep nature out. We hermetically seal our windows and pump in artificial air. We live in a constant flat climate of 21 degrees. The Roman villa was porous. It breathed. The atrium acted as a lung, drawing in fresh air and expelling stale heat through the roof. The house had its own respiratory system. They understood thermal mass. They didn't need electric fans because they had thick stone walls. These walls absorbed the sun's punishment during the day and released it gently at night. This created a natural stability. Today, our walls are thin and hollow, filled with fluff. They have no strength, no thermal memory. We are at the mercy of the grid to keep us comfortable. Consider the light. We are bathed in the blue glare of screens until midnight. The Roman day ended with firelight. This amber glow signaled the body to rest, aligning their sleep with the Earth's rotation. And then there is the courtyard. The Roman home looked inward. They turned their back to the street and opened their hearts to the garden. It was a sanctuary of privacy. Our modern homes often look outward, with big windows facing the street, yet we cover them with blinds for privacy. We are exposed yet isolated. The Romans were enclosed yet free. They did not treat water as a utility hidden in pipes. They celebrated it. The fountain was the focal point of the home. Visual and auditory therapy built right into the architecture. We have gained convenience. We have microwaves and thermostats. But we have lost the texture of life. We have lost the feeling of the sun moving across the floor. Living in a villa meant you were constantly aware of the time of day, the weather, and the season. You were connected to the reality of the world, not insulated from it. This connection brought a peace that is hard to find in a high-rise apartment. It grounded the human spirit in the physical world, preventing the anxiety that comes from living entirely in our heads. We cannot all build Roman villas today, but we can learn from them. We can open our windows, we can eat slowly, we can turn off the big lights and sit by a candle. We can reclaim small moments of silence. We can choose natural materials like linen and wood over plastic. We can try, even for an hour, to live at the speed of nature. If you could spend one day in this villa, leaving your modern life behind, would you take the key? Tell me in the comments below.